Well, everyone, welcome back. I'm William from Sheltima Boutique Guitars, and I'm going to do just a review on a product for my finishing here. I'm going to show you a few bodies here. And I use a company called Woodessence out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and they have a fantastic water-based poly called Anthem. And I've been using it over the past couple of months, and they surprised me with a test batch, and I have to say right now where it stands, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Clarity is amazing. Dry time, scuffing time is quite reasonable. What I normally do is I will do a day per coat if I'm going to do any kind of sanding. So if I'm doing three coats of clear, let's say, by the third day I can probably touch it up and give it some sanding if I want. Depending on what the procedure that it is that I'm doing, whether I'm just doing a straight color with a clear over it, then it works fine. So the first body that I worked on is this one right here, and it turned out beautifully. Now it is a metallic, kind of a metallic copper color, and it's been sitting for a while. I did give it a full buff, but I can see that it's slightly settled, and that can be because of the grain. This is an old piece of poplar that I've had for about 10 years, so any movement is pretty much done. I think it's just settling and curing and just doing that slight bit of shrinking. Otherwise, this is wonderful, and it's been sitting for a couple of weeks now, so it'll be pretty solid and pretty strong. And clarity is fantastic. I use a Menzerna wet polish system with a 3-inch dual action polisher. I don't use a buffing wheel anymore. I find I have much more control doing it that way, and I kind of like that more up close process where I'm actually right in it with the guitar body, and I use it on the necks as well. And this has about 5 coats of clear, and that's probably all you'll need for build-up. It's a high solids clear, and so that's the first one I did. I've just recently begun this build. It's been level sanded in the front, and this is basically I use a Solarez grain filler, but before I apply it, in this case, I wanted the grain to come up a bit, so I hit it with black dye from Color Effects, which also comes from Woodessence. And they're a great company. If you're Canadian or if you're looking at doing something different, check them out. I get all my finishing supplies from them. So I hit it, I sand it back, it leaves the darker dye into the lustre grain. Then I use a Solarez, and I'm going to do a video on that at some point showing you how I do that, the whole process. UV curing, really fast process, about 3 coats and you're done. And this is a beautiful piece of Paulownia, and which has a very swamp ash look, as you can see. And I'm hopefully getting you a good shot of that back. It just looks fantastic. I just did this initial polishing just to see how it would turn out over the Paulownia. There's some micro scratches in here. There are absolutely 0 swirl marks in this. So as long as your sanding procedures are good and you're laying really nice coats of the Anthem, once again, Anthem water base, and instrument finish specifically for guitars, instruments, and really happy with it. I'm looking forward to getting this one put together. It's actually going to be getting a glacier bender in it, so that'll be fun. So I'm just going to set this one off to the side for a moment. Now I have this other guitar here. Now this guitar I built about 12 years ago, and it's been sitting ever since. I took it, actually I didn't have a spray booth at the time. I had it ready for finish, so I took it to a guy and he put a PPG poly on it, and it is full, and you can probably see that it is full of pock marks all over. So I've just done a pretty intensive level sanding. Again, there's a lot of product on it, so I'm not going to burn through or anything like that. And I'm really interested to see how it works with spraying the Anthem over top of it. I think it's going to be fine, actually, and I'm just looking forward to getting this one done and back onto my guitar list. So That's something you'll be able to follow. And like I said, I really love Woodessence. They have been really good to me. They were the when I began building guitars, I wanted to go as much Canadian content as possible, and so I stumbled upon them because I was looking for a water-based finish, and they were Canadian. They had the EM6000, which I started with, and I found my issue with it, and it was probably more my error than the product, is it would always give me a blue haze when I was doing the darker black colors, or if I was doing a burst. I would always get that haze. And sometimes it would happen, sometimes it wouldn't, and I just wasn't happy with my process. And so, and humidity could have been involved with that too. Anyway, so what I love about the Anthem is that no matter how thick a coat I can apply, and I've gone fairly thick, at least 3 mil, maybe touch more, there is zero haze in that wet coat, which I've seen in other water-based polys that I've used. You will see that kind of cloudiness. This is clear right from the spray right on through your final sanding and finishing. One note that I want to bring up is that you don't need to wet sand this. I do all dry sanding, and it comes out wonderfully. And as you can see, it's just a great finish. So I highly recommend Woodescence's Anthem water-based poly, and in a couple weeks you're ready to start final sanding. And obviously the longer you let it sit, the more cured it is, and the harder it is. And I'm so happy. I give them a 10 out of 10 in every respect. Shipping is quick. They're great to talk to. Jeff there is the guy that you'd be dealing with. Great guy. And yeah, so that's my review. A little bit long, but it's good to have as much information at your fingertips as possible. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.